Have you ever wondered why you're often drawn to people who hurt you? Why the ones who lie, manipulate, or disappoint still manage to hold your attention? Why, no matter how much you know better, you keep letting them in? Maybe it's a friend, a partner, a leader, someone who made promises that felt like truth, but ended up draining something from you instead. And here's the harder part. What if I told you this isn't just about them? It's about you, what you crave, what you were never taught to question. What if the people you choose reflect something broken in the world around you, and something fractured within yourself? Throughout history, fools rising to power isn't an accident, it's a pattern. They often appear charming, confident, even funny. But underneath, there's a dangerous blend of ignorance and conviction. They reject nuance, speak in absolutes, and simplify the world into comforting lies. Machiavelli warned that people follow appearances more than truth. A leader doesn't need to be good, only look good. And in times of fear, stupidity dressed as certainty becomes seductive. It offers simple answers, loud answers, and people listen, not because it's wise, but because it's easy. Plato once warned us about this. In the Republic, he described what happens when a society forgets what's good and becomes obsessed with what's pleasing. He imagined a time when truth would be replaced by opinion, wisdom by charisma, and real leadership by spectacle. In that world, he said, the worst people rise to the top because they mirror the chaos inside the crowd. They don't guide, they perform. They don't challenge you, they flatter you. They give you what you want, even when it destroys you, and you cheer for them anyway. The same principle plays out not just in politics, but in your personal life. You meet someone who's exciting, unpredictable, confident. They say the right things, touch the right nerves, light up the parts of you that feel invisible. At first, it feels like electricity, but soon you start to shrink. You twist yourself to avoid conflict. You justify their behavior. You blame yourself for their distance. And yet, you stay. Why? Because on some level, you don't just want love. You want the kind of love you've learned to expect. And if you grew up in a world where emotional chaos was normal, then calm feels boring, and dysfunction feels like home. This is what psychologists call a familiar pain. It's not good for you, but it feels right because it's what your nervous system has adapted to. And here's where it gets darker. You might be chasing validation from the very type of person who was never capable of giving it to you in the first place. Because you've confused being wanted with being seen. You've mistaken intensity for intimacy. And you've called it love. But it's not love. It's a loop. One that you can't escape until you see it clearly. Nietzsche once wrote, "We are unknown to ourselves, we men of knowledge." What he meant is that the mind is a master of deception, especially when it comes to protecting our own illusions. If this is resonating with you, take a second, hit the like button. It helps more people see what most of us are afraid to admit. And if you haven't already, subscribe. These truths are just the beginning. We think we know ourselves, but we rarely question the origin of our desires. Who taught you what love should feel like? Who convinced you that power looks like arrogance? Who told you that silence is safer than being fully known? The wrong people didn't just appear in your life by chance. You were trained to find them familiar, and society trains us, too. We live in a culture that rewards image over substance, where narcissism is dressed up as confidence and manipulation as leadership. As Machiavelli put it, it is not necessary to be good. It is necessary to appear good. People who lie skillfully are often promoted. Those who seek truth are often ignored, because truth is inconvenient. It demands change, and change is uncomfortable. So we flock to people who promise easy answers, strong words, simple narratives. We're addicted to certainty, even when it's false. But here's the twist. It's not just that we're drawn to the wrong people. It's that we secretly fear the right ones. Because healthy love is quiet. It doesn't chase. It doesn't perform. It holds space for you to unravel and still be whole. But if you've built your identity around struggle, then peace will feel foreign, even threatening. Sometimes the real reason we push away healthy people is because they see through us. And that kind of clarity feels too raw. So we go back to the ones who keep us guessing, the ones who make us earn affection, because we think pain means passion. But that's a lie, a beautiful, tragic lie. Bonhoeffer, a theologian who fought against Nazi Germany, once warned of a deeper danger. He called it the stupidity of the masses, not in the sense of low intelligence, but in the loss of moral clarity, the inability to think independently, the surrender of personal responsibility to someone who seems powerful. He said the truly dangerous people are not always evil. They're unthinking. They follow. They obey. They don't ask, "Is this right?" They ask, "Is this popular?" And the same thing happens in relationships. We follow the crowd. We imitate what we see. We normalize dysfunction because everyone else seems to accept it. But silence is not wisdom. Comfort is not safety. And being chosen by the wrong person is not the same as being worthy. So what do? First, pause. Really pause. And ask yourself, what do I actually want to feel and love? Not what you've been told to want. Not what looks good on Instagram. But what your soul craves when you're honest. Second, get curious. Study your patterns like an ancient philosopher. Trace them back to their origin. Who first made you feel like you had to earn love? Who taught you that control was safer than vulnerability? And third, make a different choice. Even if it feels boring. Even if it scares you. Even if your body screams, run. Choose the one who listens. The one who is consistent. The one who sees you, not just your potential. That's not weakness. That's courage. If this made you feel seen, if it helped you understand yourself even a little more, don't let it stop here. Hit subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the truth doesn't just set you free. It changes what you're willing to accept. See you in the next one.